Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to discuss briefly everything that we know about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's sequel, which we're going to clumsily be referring to as The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Now, admittedly, there isn't an awful lot that we do know, but you know, there's a fair amount still, enough to be worth chatting about, I feel. We're going to be looking at the facts of the trailer and things outside the trailer, and we're also going to be putting in just a little sprinkle of speculation in here and there where we feel it's appropriate, but we're not going to be doing any massive theory crafting or talking about exactly what we think the game's going to be about, because that's pointless. Okay, so first of all, in the trailer, we have got this green magic-y stuff that's swirling around this rather gnarled-looking corpse, which is somewhat similar. It certainly has the same sort of feel as the blue Sheikah text that you found around, but it's floating in the air and wibbly. It doesn't explicitly look like text, but it does look like it could maybe be some sort of script, but if it is that, it's going to be very loose. We then get to see some cave paintings of a figure on horseback brandishing a big fork or trident. This appears to be some sort of battle or maybe some sort of foretelling or something like that. All we know is it's on a wall, underground, and there's a bloke on a horse. Link and Zelda are found exploring this undergroundy bit with a bison, oxen type something, and then they find the desiccated coconut remains of that person we saw before. Zelda's new haircut is objectively the most important factor in this trailer, or indeed any trailer. We then see a rat, the purest of Hylia's creations, get unjustly engulfed in shadowy gubbins. I genuinely hope the rat's okay. Wherever it is that they're exploring, this bridge looks damned old for sure, so it's most likely a ruin or some sort of forgotten city or something along those lines. Link does what Link does best and seems to absorb or at least get marginally jiggy with this light hand thing that's been holding the corpse down this whole time. We then get this moment here which shows shadows depicting the hand reaching out, presumably the lighty hand and not a different one, reaching out to this dead git's chest, presumably, which is some sort of indication of what happened to them. Corpsey thing ain't so corpsey anymore. Oh, would you look at that? It's a Gerudo symbol. It's Ganondorf. I never would have guessed. Then, right at the end, Hyrule Castle starts to rise somewhat, definitely going to the moon base Hetsu. Failing that, it's just, I don't know, lifting up a bit. So that's all that we've got from the trailer, apart from the fact the text at the end says that the sequel to Breath of the Wild is now in development, which we know because they've just given us a trailer. That's not all we know, though. Speaking to Game Informer, the chap in charge of Zelda, Mr. Eiji Aonuma himself, confirmed a few extra things. First of all, and most importantly, this will take place in the same Hyrule as the last one, and is a direct continuation of the story. Considering we do see Hyrule, that may seem bleedingly obvious, but it's always good to get this kind of information confirmed, because it may well, you know, it could just as easily have been that this is just a cutscene and it's a shot of Hyrule, but we never actually get to go there and it all takes place underground or something. Unlikely, but again, it's just nice to have it confirmed. The bigger picture, though, is that since this is going to be in the same Hyrule, that is going to massively, and I mean massively, reduce development time because they've already got Hyrule there. All they need to do is, I don't know, spruce it up a bit, change a few things here and there, maybe expand Tarry Town, that kind of thing, which really is not that big of a deal. It's certainly going to be a hell of a lot easier than making a brand new map from scratch, and that means we could be getting this soon. Like, Breath of the Wild took bloody ages to develop. This is not going to be as long, presumably, unless it's like double the size. That would be fun. Another thing he confirmed is that the team developing it were inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2. So expect that oxen thing to be ultra-realistic from the back, potentially to a fault. What this actually means, we don't know. We're just imagining that there's going to be certain elements of Red Dead Redemption 2 that are going to carry over into Breath of the Wild 2. I don't expect there to be any sort of cut and paste type thing, but even so, there's clearly going to be some inspiration there if they've been that upfront about it. Lastly, and certainly not leastly, Aonuma also confirmed in an interview that this game is going to be slightly darker than Majora's Mask. It's going to be slightly darker than Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask. You know that game where you're tasked with doing loads of things and it doesn't matter how many lives you save or anything you do doesn't really matter because you've just got to go back and restart time again, and so you're stuck in an endless cycle where you can't save everyone's lives and instead you just have to do what you can? that game. From a purely personal point of view, that is extremely, extremely exciting. I've always held Majora's Mask as my, I would say, oh god, it's so hard to rank them, but it really is definitely amongst my favorite Zelda games, and that's not an easy thing to say. I don't think objectively it's the best. I really, really don't. I think it's just purely from my own personal point of view. I really enjoy a dark, sort of twisted storyline, and Majora's Mask had that in spades. So if this takes it even further, yeah. In terms of a release date, it's purely speculative at the moment. I mean, the fact that they're using the same Hyrule again means that I don't think it's entirely unrealistic to expect a 2021 release. Some people are saying even 2020, right at the end of the year, which is, I suppose, possible, but at the same time, I really wouldn't want them to rush this game. So 2021 would be fine. I'd even be happy with 2022, which sounds like a mad space year at the moment. For the time being, we're just going to have to wait and see, but given how much more they could have done with Breath of the Wild, but chose not to, for whatever reason, this is extremely exciting, just unbelievably exciting. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you give that subscribe button realistic reactions to temperature, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.